Hello Taverners, welcome back. My name is Key. We are live for the final round of 16 World Cup knockout game. We've got Switzerland, Murat Yakin, brother of Hakin Yakin. Anyway, Murat Yakin against Néstor Lorenzo's Colombia. Should be a fantastic game if it's anything like the game we've just watched in the Argentina-Egypt one. We've had some cracking games in these knockout rounds. England-Mexico was brilliant as well. We've had lots of great games in this World Cup, and I think this one might just be a very good one too. I fancy Colombia, but the Swiss have been quietly going about their business. Wouldn't put it past them. They've got real experience in there. They've got a bit of pace. They've got a bit of energy. Manzambi in the middle of the park, Xhaka in the middle of the park. They've got ability, haven't they? They've got quality in there, a nice mix of youth and experience. Who knows? Maybe they could go far. And Ndoye, Vargas, there's quality in there. Breel Embolo should be interesting. Obviously Bayern, not Liverpool legend. He's still a Liverpool legend to me, but Bayern winger Luis Diaz is probably the star still for Colombia. You've got James Rodriguez in there. Quintero's kind of still around. But yeah, should be a really good game, this one. It is live on ITV1 if you're watching along with us. Before we get stuck into the game, as always, want to give a big shout out to our friends, Oxford Natural, who continue to sponsor the Matchday Tavern throughout this FIFA World Cup. If you haven't yet, please do go and consider taking a look at their website, where you can find out all the wonderful details about how they help people make positive changes to their health. People like Robbie at AFTV, people like Michael Owen, as you see in there on the screen. They've made fantastic changes. They sleep better. They feel better in themselves. They're looking a bit better, a bit sharper. And it takes some time. It's not a magic fix. There's no magic pill with these things, but they give you the tools and they give you some fantastic supplements that will help you along the way. The Oxford Natural Optimum Day and Night supplements, which are working really, really well. Optimum Day is about helping you with your cravings, helping you with your energy throughout the day, and Optimum Night is about helping you rest, reset, and recover properly. All of which is very, very important. And there's lots of other fantastic supplements they do as well, amongst a whole multitude of great services, which you can take a look at, and you can scan the QR code on screen right now, or you can click the link in the description. Go and get yourself 70% off. Can't really say fairer than that. 70% off your first order with Oxford Natural. So yeah, go and check them out. Big, big shout out to them. And with that said, let's get stuck into our final game of the day. We're still back tomorrow. We will still be live tomorrow. Everyone was asking earlier about what's happening tomorrow. There's obviously no World Cup game tomorrow. But we will be live tomorrow. Make no bones about it. We've got a massive Euro Under-19s, UEFA European Championship semi-final. We watched them last year. And it was fantastic. It was a really, really... Lots of goals. I think it finished 6-5 when Germany played England. Or was it 5-all? 6-5 when it was Spain. Great tournament. Anyway, really good. Lots of fantastic attackers. Maybe not so many great defenders. So should be goals and goals galore, I would imagine, tomorrow. It's only a 7 o'clock kickoff, so maybe you'll join me for that one. But before we do, let's get stuck into this game. This is what it's about. Yeah, this is very much what it's about. Let's do the lineups. Lineups for this one. Let's have a little look. See, what are we dealing with here? Good to see you, Ian. City of Northville, Jellyfish, Hiller, 3-star. Oh. Do you know what? I've just realised. Sorry, excuse me. What else are we missing? Sonny, good to see you. Yeah, packed stadium. Very much a packed stadium, isn't it? Very, very much a packed stadium. Still baffles me that Jan Sommer... I mean, I know they've got Gregor Kobel in goal now, Switzerland, but no Jan Sommer in goal always baffles me. ZQXV, come on, Colombia! Egypt coach Hossam Hassan has made a statement after that Argentina game where he has said it's a really unfair thing that has happened. Really? I don't get that. I really don't get that. Why is it such a big... I don't get why they're saying it's such an unfair thing that's happened. I don't think it was unfair at all. Ian, hey Key, how's you and your family? Keep right on. Villa. That Villa shall not win. How's me and my family? Very good, mate. Very, very good. My little girl and my wife are currently away. They're on holiday. So, I'm living the bachelor life at the minute. I don't have to do so much, like, you know, tidying up and all that sort of stuff. It's brilliant. I can just kind of do my own thing for a little bit. I'm sure she'll... to be honest, you've then got to do the typical man thing, which is as soon as the day before they're coming back, it'll be a spring clean and... Yeah, back at it. City of Northfield getting a bit tired of teams all whining they were cheated now. Football has become full of whiners. I couldn't agree more. Whiner FC. How's it going, Scouser? Callum says he did the sign for racism. Key, that's why. Oh, is that what he's having a statement about? Is that what it's about? Oh, I didn't see. Let's have a look. Hossam Hassan racism. What's he said? They're informing the referee that racist abuse has occurred. First stop the match, then suspend it if the abuse continues. Instead of initiating the protocol, the referee booked Hassan with a yellow card and allowed play to continue. That is bizarre then, isn't it? I wasn't aware that was the case. First indicated that he'd suffered racism by making the gesture and ultimately received a yellow card. Oh, well, there you go. So what is the protocol in that case then? What happens? Obviously, I mean, we've seen it happen when we watched Benfica and Real Madrid, didn't we? We saw that happen with Vinicius and Prestiani, and there was obviously the allegation that Prestiani had said something, and obviously there was the whole thing, and then yeah, that was. But the game continued, didn't it? I mean, listen, I guess that's kind of a separate issue now, isn't it? To actually the result and the performance and all that sort of stuff. Callum, typical Argentina. Oh, you can't say that. That's just as racist. You can't say that. You can't say that. That's ridiculous. You can't say that. It's not typical Argentina. That's nonsense, mate. Come on, you're better than that. How's it going, Hiller? Well, Key, dog sitting is hard work. It is. It is. How's it going, Shell? What's your prediction for the semis? My prediction for the semis is probably. I don't know actually. Now I don't know. I still think Norway will knock England out. I think Spain will knock Belgium out, and I think France will beat Morocco, and I think Argentina might just edge Colombia. Liam says Egypt were sore losers in the end. They were 2-0 up and hold it out. And do you know what? And I can understand that they would be. I can really understand that they would be upset and frustrated. I get it. I totally get it. But for me, I just feel like that's... I don't know. I think if you're the coach, I think you can divide that into two separate issues, can't you? Although I suppose if you're a coach, you will naturally deflect, won't you? You will say that the reason that we lost the game is the racism thing, and it's not anything to do with the fact that the team threw away a 2-goal lead. And the coach side of you, maybe the human side of you, would want to focus on the racism. And the coach side of you would want to look at what you can control on the football pitch, and that is that you really let your team, the team let you down today, kind of thing. It wasn't a good performance once you were 2-0 up. LFC Pack says, wait, Argentina were racist to Egypt. Well, we don't know. We don't know anything. We just know that there was an allegation made of racism. We don't know where it's come from. As far as I'm aware, it could be that it could have come from the stands. It could have come from one of the coaching staff. It could have come from one of the players. We have no idea. We have absolutely no idea at this point. I have absolutely no idea. Brandon says, when you're 2 up in the World Cup, just put 11 men behind the ball, and they just didn't do that. Yeah, and again, it's good management, isn't it? That is what good managers tend to do, is they will focus on other things. When a team's played badly, when there's been a bad result, inevitably there will be managers who'll say, well, yeah, we might have not played well, but what about this? What about this over here? That's what Ferguson used to do all the time. He was very good at it. The Egypt goal that made it 2 that got disallowed, was it right? Yes, it was absolutely right. Yeah, there was no... I've not seen anyone say that the Egypt goal should have been allowed. There were some people who said maybe that the Argentina goal should have been brought back for a review or whatever, but I think that was very, very soft. I think control what you can control, and Egypt will be very disappointed that they were 2-0 up and they fluffed it today. They really fluffed it in the end. Switzerland down the left-hand side. Good start from the Swiss so far. Here's Ricardo Rodriguez. We didn't do the lineups before, did we? I meant to do the lineups. I always do the lineups before kick-off, but we didn't do them. So, Switzerland, it is Gregor Kobel in goal, Denis Zakaria, Nico Elvedi, Manuel Akanji, Ricardo Rodriguez left-back. In midfield, it's Granit Xhaka, Fabian Rieder and Remo Freuler, with Ardon Jashari, Dan Ndoye and Breel Embolo. So they have got a bit of pace in those forward areas, haven't they? Ndoye and Embolo have got pace to burn. Ardon Jashari's a really clever midfielder. And then in midfield with Rieder, Xhaka and Freuler, they've got legs, they've got energy, they've got leadership. They've got good, tough tacklers in there. With Colombia, they've got Camilo Vargas in goal, Daniel Munoz, who I think has been a real star of the tournament, Davinson Sanchez and John Lukumi at centre-back, with Johan Mojica at left-back. In midfield, they've gone with Arias, Lerma, Puerta and James Rodriguez. So, John Arias, former of Wolves, I think. Oh, it's gone behind for a corner kick. And then a front three of James Rodriguez, Luis Suarez, and the danger man, or one of the danger men anyways, Luis Diaz there. Brandon Murray, who's your winner, Key? My winner is, for this one, I think Colombia. Cammy, Charlie versus the Chocolate Factory. Well, yeah, that's one way of putting it. That's what the two countries are primarily known for, I guess. Swiss chocolates and Colombian Bam Bam. Mr. Al-Shamari says, Messi is a wicked man. A very wicked man. Why? What's Messi done with it? Messi's done no wrong. Shahid, it looks like the stadium is full of Colombia supporters, Kate. Yeah, Certainly dominated by the Colombians, innit? Oh, for the whole thing. Spain. Yeah, Spain. Colombian flake. Here's Ricardo Rodriguez. Good ball in. Good touch. Good strike. And is he onside? I think he is. Ndoye straight at the keeper. First shot there. Cammy, we said it earlier, mate. You said that earlier and we said it earlier. Ndoye has pace, but not as much as James Garner. I'm sure Oliver Glasner will work on that during this window. And Joe says it's 4-0 Gateshead if you're interested, Key. Maybe I'll cut Catamol some slack until he sends us down to National League North. Well, there's Johan Manzambi. He's chilling. Liverpool signing anyone, Key? Well, apparently, so according to the latest news today, is that Andoni Areola is looking to assess whether or not Leone or Xhaka could be a good centre-back partner for Van Dijk, or do we need to go and get another one? Citizens, Key, can you comment on my video quickly? I can't, mate, I'm sorry. FCA says, what's your thoughts on Argentina and Egypt? I'm disappointed from an Egypt perspective that they've thrown it away in the last sort of 10-15 minutes. There's obviously the racism allegation now that's going on, and again, you don't know what's been made of that, where it's come from, how accurate it is. Again, that's another thing to to keep in mind. Is it maybe a miss here? Has he been bombarded with absolutely vile abuse, and has it come from the coaching staff? Has it come from the players? It's all that stuff that'll still need to be investigated. But I think if you're just looking at it from a purely football point of view, Egypt will be really disappointed with how they've played there. Liam says, Okafor has deleted all leads in his bio on his Instagram. Does that mean he's going after the World Cup? Would you be that disappointed if he was? Would you take Alex Scott? Yes, 1,000,000% I'd take Alex Scott. Very good player. Looking at the Colombia game, how the hell did we let go of Luis Diaz? We had to let him go. It was a smart move. I still think Liverpool would do that move again. Even if it was now, would 100% you'd let him go. The issue wasn't selling Luis Diaz. The issue was not replacing Luis Diaz. Selling Luis Diaz was still a very smart move. For 70 million quid, as good as a player he is, it was a deal you couldn't really say no to. ZQXV, Key, do you think Manzambi is the right man for Newcastle? Well, put it this way. What's the goal for Newcastle next season? If the goal for Newcastle next season is to compete in Europe, then no. Manzambi and Stoon or whatever this lad is who they've just signed, the young Ajax midfielder, no. And Bazumana Toure, no. These are not players that are going to get Newcastle back in Europe. These are players that are going to be maybe players that Newcastle look to sell on in a 2 or 3 year period. You know, players who are going to come and use Newcastle as a stepping stone to bigger and better things. They're not going to be players that come in and get Newcastle in the Champions League. It's going to take them some time. That's why they're signing young players. Young players don't come in from foreign leagues and immediately smash it, though. They just don't, do they? The goal is the Conference or the Europa. I think, honestly, mate, I think the goal for Newcastle has to be winning something again. I think that's the only way you're going to get in Europe. I don't see Newcastle finishing in the top 7 or 8, do you? There's 7 or 8 teams who'll comfortably finish above Newcastle next year. I think Spurs is one of them, to be honest. I think you look at Liverpool, Arsenal, in no particular order. Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, United, Spurs, Villa, Brighton, maybe. I think Brighton probably will. They're going really well under Fabian Hürzeler. I think it's probably fair to say that Bournemouth and Sunderland might suffer with Europe, but I think Brentford might do well. I think Brentford and Newcastle are the two that I would look at and say, yeah, they could compete. But there's 7 teams that will finish above Newcastle, come what may. Brandon, one dream realistic player for Liverpool to get. Dream realistic player for us to get. That's a tough question, that. A dream player. All the players that I really like, they're not necessarily players that... They've all got kind of issues. Like, I like Rodrigo at Real Madrid, but he's been out injured for ages. I like Alex Scott. Alex Scott's wonderful. But, I wouldn't go as far as saying he's a dream signing. Apparently, Adam Wharton's very close to Liverpool. Fulham under Arbeloa, maybe. I think Fulham under Arbeloa screams a sacking about Christmas time. Nathan, do you think we keep Elliott? I don't think it'd be very smart to keep Elliott, would it? The reason that Harvey Elliott left is still the same, isn't it? Harvey Elliott left Liverpool because he wanted regular minutes. He's not going to get regular minutes at Liverpool under Andoni Iraola. He's not good enough. He's not good enough. And he's not the type of player that can really play in an Iraola system. So, in the nicest possible way, I like Harvey Elliott. I think he's a good player. He's just not... He's not going to be a player that thrives at Liverpool. Joe, I'm not sure. I think Man U will fall off again, and Villa. They'll have to fall off some way, though, mate. Your Newcastle had a bad season last year, and you've downgraded. You've got rid of Gordon and Tonali. You might still get rid of Bruno Guimaraes. Like, I just don't see a world in which Newcastle significantly improve on where they were. I think mid-table is kind of about where Newcastle will be. Scouser, according to Fab, Barcola is very close to joining us. Is he? I've not heard that. Free kick from Colombia. Good ball in. Good defending. Far post. Good claim, that from Coble. Newcastle training players before they step up to a big club is something to be proud of. They can be the Prem's training club. LFC Ab thoughts on Damien Duff being the new assistant manager at Brentford. It's about right, isn't it? Keith Andrews as manager, Damien Duff as assistant. Nice. Do you think Diamand is way too overpriced? Probably not. No, I don't think he is overpriced. For what he is, like, that's what top wingers are going for now, isn't it? It's hard to really argue the point that he's overpriced. Joe, I've got high praise for Ross Wilson so far. I'm liking this new transfer strategy. It's fresh and exciting. European talent is what we needed. Look at how Bruno and Chow have excelled here. Again, though, you could say that there's a lot of people that Newcastle could have signed if they had real ambitions to kick on and secure Europe. These aren't signings that scream, we're going to be competing for Europe next year. These aren't ambitious signings. These are signings that scream Newcastle rethinking their whole transfer model a bit more in line with that of Bournemouth and Brighton, which is fine, but it is a little bit of a departure, isn't it, from where Newcastle were just maybe 12 months ago, where they were thinking, no, we need to be in and around that top 4, top 5. Cheers for that 3-star. 130 million for one good season. Where's 130 million come from? It's only going to be about 100. It's only going to be about 100 million. And 100 million is exactly what top wingers go for, basically. What a ball that is. Oh, good defending. Very good defending from the Swiss. Nathan, I think Brazil would have won it if they played Rafinha. I mean, Ancelotti, I don't think has necessarily had not had a great start as Brazil manager. Gamer Guru, having some fresh players and not relying on players that haven't been taking Newcastle where they should be could be what the club needs. They could spend smart and improve. Oh, they could. They could. I don't think it immediately leads to Europe. I don't think Manzambi and Bazumana Toure and 25 million on this young lad from Ajax who's barely kicked a ball for Ajax, let alone in the Premier League. I just don't see a world how that takes Newcastle from here to here. It probably helps them, probably yields results in years to come. Like I said, it probably is going to be something that Newcastle profit from, because the only way that the young lad they've signed from Ajax, whatever, I forget his name, is it Stur or Stein or Stoon, whatever his name is, him, if you pay 25 million for that sort of a player, the only way that becomes profitable is if you sell him for 50, 60 million down the line. That's what they're asking for, 130 million. Can't see it. Spurs have changed the market now. Tonali 100 million, Fernandes at 85. Spurs didn't change the market, mate. That was always about right, I think. Glasner being linked with a move for Kamada from Frankfurt. Kamada from Frankfurt or Kamada from Palace? I didn't know there was a Kamada at Frankfurt. Yeah, are you not about Daichi Kamada from Palace? Daichi Kamada used to play for Frankfurt. I think he played for him at Frankfurt, didn't he? Well, 18 minutes in, Colombia and Switzerland, neither side really dominating here. Neither side have laid a glove on another. Newcastle and West Ham had Spurs pants down, just like City got mugged off for Anderson. I know, but would you not say that would have West Ham had Arsenal's pants down with Rice? Was Caicedo and Fernandes not worth 110 million? I don't know. I think that is the going rate for midfielders now. I think it's very hard to argue the case that Elliot Anderson wasn't worth 116 million. He absolutely was. I'll tell you what though, Switzerland, little fact for Switzerland, Switzerland's 6th straight World Cup, believe it or not. Oh, that's a great run, unlucky. Yeah, the 6th straight World Cup. And only Germany, England, France, Spain and Portugal can match that sort of consistency. So they are one of the most consistent appearers at World Cups. They've done well. Cammy says Rice is bang average in my opinion. ZQXV, would you say Isak was worth the money, Key? I guess that time will tell with the whole Isak thing, because we signed him on a 6-year deal, mate. We're only a year into that. Yeah, I would say Alexander Isak will prove to be value for money for Liverpool. Gamer Guru, not at all. Rice has shown he was worth the money and had a history at West Ham to prove that. But Elliot Anderson, I think, has proven that Nottingham Forest went very deep in the Europa League. Were a bug's dick away from qualifying from the Champions League. Elliot Anderson's had a phenomenal time at Nottingham Forest, and from one top team to another in the Premier League. Oh, here we go, Colombia. Strike! What an effort, and what a save from Coble. Love that. Good effort from... who was it who had the shot? It was a very, very good effort, that. Curling effort. Good save from Coble. Jerry says it's sad to see one of the best comebacks in football history, and everyone talks about a non-existent foul on Salah. Yeah, I agree. I don't think that was a foul at all. Jelly says if Matheus Fernandes is 85 million, don't forget he's been relegated twice with 2 teams. What does being relegated have to do with anything? Him being relegated with 2 teams doesn't affect his valuation, mate. He was just part... It's the same argument as saying that, well, a player hasn't won very much, therefore they're not a very good player. It doesn't make any sense. Then Mainu is 100 million plus. I'd agree with that. I would absolutely agree with that. I think if Kobbie Mainu was on the market right now and Man United was selling him, I think they'd probably look for about 100 million for Kobbie Mainu. I agree. I absolutely agree with you. That's why I'm saying I think that is the market now. I think the market dictates that English side to English side, young, played in the Premier League already, 100 million is kind of your benchmark. That's why he went for 85. It's probably the top end of his valuation, but I agree. I think Kobbie Mainu would probably go for probably about the same as Matheus Fernandes, but United would be asking for 100 million, wouldn't they? Benjamin, yes, Key. How's the belief? The belief? How's the belief? Belief about what? Good football, Switzerland foul, Xhaka brought down there. Hydration break. Here we go, hydration break. Switzerland, a quick reminder, Switzerland have never in their entire history, they have never won a World Cup knockout game. Never. Out of the groups in 3 straight tournaments, and then knocked out immediately whenever they have gone past that stage. Oh, Faye, dude, what are you spamming for, mate? Stop spamming. Stop spamming. We don't want to mute you. I don't want to mute you. Please stop spamming. Alright, we'll just mute you. I really don't want to mute people. Why'd you have to be a bellend, mate? We'll just mute you. It's dead easy. I'd much rather we didn't mute you. I've lost all respect for Xhaka, not going to lie. Saying he wants to join Chelsea at all costs is pathetic. Did he? Is that what he said? I haven't seen him say that. Gamer Guru, players in teams sat in relegation battles often should never be near 100 million value. He was 60 million at the top end of his value. I think the thing that influences that is that he was probably one of the best midfielders in the Premier League last season, even in a struggling team. He stood out, and as soon as it became available that he was wanting to leave and he was on the market, the calibre of teams that showed interest told you. That dictated his value as well. It was like Matheus Fernandes is available, right? Real Madrid are interested. Man United are looking at him. Arsenal were looking at him. Apparently Liverpool were looking at him at one point. Everyone pretty much took a look at Matheus Fernandes. And immediately when you've got all the big sides kind of, surrounding the trough, that inevitably is going to inflate the value. Pete says that makes McAllister worth 150 million because he's got a World Cup. That's it. Yeah. That's it. McAllister, I think for that reason, I don't, anyone who says to things like that, like, this guy is so good, look at what he's won, or that player is so bad because he never won this, immediately they've lost the argument. And nobody wanted to spend the money. Well, I mean, Spurs did, and I think United would have gone some way past the 60 million that you assessed he's worth. I think United would have been quite comfortable paying 75 for him. According to all of the stories, Spurs got him as much because they were willing to pay the most to get him, and they were willing to go to West Ham's valuation or near to it. Jerry says he broke Sunderland's fans' hearts to the point where some Newcastle fans are saying how much of a snake he is. Jerry, I think you might be wrong on that one, mate, or you might need to... I've got a lot of people in the other chat saying that that's not the case, that Xhaka never said anything of the sort. I don't know. I haven't seen any interview, anything he said or hasn't said. But apparently Xhaka has not said anything of the sort. He's not said anything about joining Chelsea, and Sunderland have refused to sell him, and apparently it looks more like he's staying now. Ryan Bridgman, I'll try one more time. I know, mate. We've all. There's been like 4 people coming and said it before you. Shell has Moyes gone to Scotland yet? Not just yet. No. Not a big fan of Colombia playing in white shorts. I think the blue shorts work better with the yellow tops. Not that I'm much of a fashion guru. And Jelly says he had an alright season. I think if you were looking at centre mids in the Premier League last season, Matheus Fernandes would have been up there. His numbers were very, very good. Mainu's had more Prem experience and he's miles better and worth much more than Matheus. I know, but he wasn't looking to leave, was he? He wasn't looking to leave. United weren't looking to sell him. So therefore, his valuation is kind of irrelevant, isn't it? It doesn't matter what his value is on the current market because there's no interest for him to go. There's no interest in selling him, and there's not really any teams asking the question about Kobbie Mainoo. But Matheus Fernandes, there was. And there obviously was an interest in him moving on. Taff says, honestly speaking, do you think FIFA side with some teams? No, I don't think FIFA side with some teams. Why do you think that to be the case? Assuming that you do, of course. Do you think FIFA side with some teams? And if so, why do you think they side with some teams? What evidence have you had to suggest that's the case? ZQXV, when's the England game? I think it's the 11th. Is it the 11th? I think it's the 11th England play, isn't it? I'm sure it is. Yeah, I'm almost certain it's the 11th. I'm trying to say about the valuation of players. I know, but the valuation of players is dictated by whether or not they are wanted and whether or not there is an appetite for the club to sell them. That factors in the valuation, doesn't it? Like, if a team want to sell a player, if a team are looking to get rid of them, their valuation comes down, doesn't it? If a team doesn't want to sell a player at all, valuation's a bit higher. So all of these are little factors that are in place. Oh, good strike! Colombia just about get it away. Go on, what's Agbon Lahore said, LJ. Look at the USA situation, a red card being cancelled. I know, but I don't think that's not unique to the USA, is it? They've done that with a few other teams in this tournament. They did it with Ronaldo before the tournament, didn't they? So FIFA have suspended red cards and suspended bans. You know, there was quite a few players for Senegal who were meant to be suspended, including the coach, by the way. They were supposed to get 5-game bans for walking off the pitch in the AFCON final. And FIFA suspended that until after the tournament. There's been a few bans suspended, so I don't think that shows at all that they've favoured the USA. In my opinion, again, people will disagree, and maybe, I'm sure that's fine. But I don't think the USA have been favoured. Not really. What do you think? What's your starting lineup for England versus Norway, Key? And do you think Kobbie Mainoo will get a game? No, I don't think Kobbie Mainoo gets a game. I think Elliot Anderson and Declan Rice are the better midfielders, so I think they will start. He's gone with them all tournament, and I think he'll continue to go with them. That's about it. As far as... Look at Senderos. What's Senderos doing in the stands? There's a rogue former Arsenal player in the stands. Yeah, I think it'll probably be Pickford. I think right back, they'll probably go with Ezri Konsa, possibly. Good strike, good save. Better from Ndoye again down the left-hand side. If Declan Rice is suspended. I think if Declan Rice is suspended, I'm not sure they would go Elliot Anderson and Kobbie Mainoo. No, I think if Declan Rice is suspended, I think he might be tempted to play. I wonder if he could maybe go with Nico O'Reilly central in the way that City have done. I think Anderson and Nico O'Reilly central, and he might be tempted to bring Dan Burn in on the left-hand side. Jed Spence off the right, Dan Burn off the left, or maybe Konsa off the right, and Jed Spence off the left. Jamie Vargas, hello Key, I am rooting for Colombia. My wife is from Colombia. I call them the land of the Sofia Vergaras. Wow. Love Sofia Vergara. Unless the wife's listening. Nice. Yeah, absolutely agree, Jamie. You're rooting for Colombia. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm rooting for Colombia, but I think Colombia will win. Switzerland down the left-hand side. Long ball forward. Good touch by Embolo. Embolo out to the right-hand side for the full-back. Inside to Xhaka. Game's being played at quite a slow pace. Here's Ricardo Rodriguez. Terrible ball. And Colombia come away with it. That's better. Clemmer TV, if we lose against England, it will be a happy ending anyway. I don't think you're going to lose against England, mate. I think Norway are through there. Kieran, how are we tonight, Key? I'm very good, mate. How are you, more importantly? I'm very good. Loving life. Loving life. If England doesn't win, who do you want to win? Honestly, I've got no horse in the race. I'm quite happy with anyone winning. Norway, it'd be quite nice if Norway won it. Oh, good. Or Colombia. I quite like Colombia as well. I'd quite like an outsider to win it. Colombia, Norway, they both have my vote for approval in that one. Wouldn't mind Belgium either. Bugger it. Belgium would be a bit of a rogue shout, wouldn't it? Nobody really fancied Belgium. Everyone kind of took the piss out of him. And Rudy Garcia has made some rogue calls in this tournament as well, dropping, De Bruyne and Doku and taking them off when they were 2-0 down against Senegal. And I think if Belgium were to win it, Rudy Garcia would totally have been vindicated as a manager. His reputation will skyrocket as a manager. I think Spain can do it. Can see them stopping France for scoring. Yeah, Spain too. Clarky says Morocco, okay. No, see, I don't want Morocco to win it. Morocco's probably the only one I actively don't want to win it, just because of the behaviour in the AFCON. I think if Morocco win that, they win the World Cup, then it's just you're rewarding absolute sewage behaviour. Oh, Nana out for 8 months. That's a real shame. That is a real shame. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of Morocco. Not the country. Quite like Morocco, the country. But Morocco, the football team, and the way they went about it in the AFCON final. No, not for me. Chimey, are all Liverpool players officially knocked out of the tournament? No. Alexis McAllister is still in with Argentina. Who else is there who might still be in? Trying to think if we've got anyone else. I don't think we have we? Oh, Munoz. Munoz with Spain. Victor Munoz, of course, yeah. Kieran, if Colombia get through here, do you think they'll do well against the Argies? Colombia did brilliantly well against Portugal. And I do think that they have got another gear to go up, although Switzerland I think Switzerland will be the better side here. Won't they be the first African team to win a World Cup? They would, yes. They would. Hey, how's it going, Rachel? Good to see you. Clement TV says De Bruyne is the best passer ever. He was a very good passer, though. He was one of my favourite players for City, for sure. It's a lovely ball down the left-hand side. Luis Diaz couldn't quite get to it. Who the hell is Munoz? He's only our star signing on the left wing, mate. The one that we pinched off Newcastle. 35 million of raw Spanish talent. He's only 22, mate. We've signed him from Osasuna. He was responsible for about a third of all Osasuna's goals last season. And they only stayed up on goal difference in La Liga. So he got called up to the Spanish World Cup squad, which I think says an awful lot. Newcastle were this close to signing him, and Liverpool swept in last minute and picked him up. So, yeah, Victor Munoz, definitely one to look at. Biggest underperformers so far. Biggest underperformers? You'd have to say Germany. Or unlucky, this is better. Strike, unlucky, it's back outside. Colombia now coming back into it a bit more. Joe Key, what's your thoughts on Paraguay's display against France? Didn't mind it. It's what you expect from an underdog. Yeah, again, they were always going to play that style, weren't they, I think? I think you're right. Edge of the box, Colombia. Out for a goal kick, is it? Oh, no, it's gone for a throw-in, hasn't it? Or has it stayed in? It stayed in. And a corner. Well done. Great work ethic, that. Also, what do you think of Mexico? I think with Mexico, a little bit overrated in terms of... They did very well. I thought they were fantastic in the tournament, but the whole myth of the Azteca, I didn't buy that. I thought Mexico had a great tournament, but admittedly they played some very, very poor teams. The group was dreadful. South Africa, Czech Republic, South Korea. South Korea sacked their manager. Czech Republic were just probably the most physical side in the tournament, really, but just big and tall, dangerous offset pieces, but not actually very good otherwise. And South Africa, apart from the penalty, I thought they were pretty dreadful. I can never look at Colombia the same after watching a documentary on Vice. On Vice? What kind of Vice? What are we talking about? Kieran says Scotland should have gotten out their group. Massive underperformance. It was a tough old group, that, though, wasn't it? Brazil and Morocco. I mean, they scored one goal and it was a deflected one against Haiti. Rachel says, if this Munoz guy scored a third of Osasuna's goals as a defender, then he must also play as a striker. No, he's not a defender. He's a winger. He plays off the left, plays off the right, and he has sometimes played through the middle. But he got, I think it was it 7 goals and 6 assists or something like that? Something like that. It was like 7 goals and 6 assists in whatever, out 38 games last season. And Osasuna got something like 40 goals in La Liga. So he had a very, very big part to play in how they approached the league. And yeah, they stayed up on goal difference in the end. Doesn't Budimir play for... He does, yeah. Antti Budimir, good finisher. Watch the 2 Escobars. I've heard good things about that. Viceland, also known as Vice TV, crazy documentary about Colombia, and it's not about what you think. See, whenever I think of Colombia nowadays, I just think of 90 Day Fiancé and what was his name? Mike and Jimena, the Colombian, webcam girl who he went over and married. Good grief. That was a mad show, that 90 Day Fiancé. To be honest, I didn't even watch it. I only found it when, like, my missus was watching it. Yeah, Mike's got nothing on Big Head. That's it. No neck, Big Head. Big Head, bloody hell. Did you watch the Belgium game, Keith? I did, yeah. I was up last night watching USA-Belgium. Pete, if Mexico had a decent striker, then England would have been knocked out. That's, again, yeah, that's my thinking as well, Pete. That is exactly where I'm at with it as well. For me, I look at it and think that if England meet a side with a really good finisher, think of who they've got next. If England meet a side with a really good finisher, they're in trouble because they gave up so many chances. I was talking to me mate as the game was going on. We've got a WhatsApp group with a couple of lads who I used to work with, and we're talking as the game's going on, and one of them's like, 2-0, game's over, job done. And I said, no chance, absolutely not. England will give chances up here. They will 1,000,000% give chances up. And within about 60 seconds, Quinonez had scored to make it 2-1. Good ball in. Switzerland headed away. 44 minutes on the clock. And as it stands... Oh! Hey, there's a bit of a claim there for a minute. For a penalty. Referee says no. And now he's given a free kick to Switzerland. Odd move. Rachel says in Australia the Egypt game was at 2 a.m. so I was up at a horrible time. Yeah, we was talking about that while we were watching the game, Rachel. Funnily enough, we were saying how unfortunate it is for a lot of teams, a lot of countries around the world who have been given really bad schedules, haven't they? Obviously, England getting their game against Mexico delayed from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. Australia was a 2 a.m. start. In certain parts of Australia, I think it was as late as 4 a.m., wasn't it? With some. Kieran, they should try Rice at right back. Well, you've got to think, it's going to be Noosa who they're up against. So, I think whoever you play at right back needs to be quite good going forward. Quite aggressive, quite sort of make Noosa worry about going back the other way. Do you know what I mean? And I think Reece James might do a job if he's fit, if he's available. Chimey Key, is the CR7 Messi debate finally over after Portugal's exit? No, to be honest, the whole CR7 Messi debate, what's the debate is what? Like when they're 40? When they're 40 or 41? That's not a debate. It's not a debate worth having anyway. Yeah, it's not a debate worth having. Like, all you're doing is comparing Messi and Ronaldo right now. And I would agree with you. I think Ronaldo right now is not as good as Messi right now. Obviously, he's a couple of years older. But Ronaldo at his peak versus Messi at his peak, no, I think there is a conversation to be had there. Yeah, it would have been a perfect game for Trent. I couldn't agree more. Tuchel made a real mistake in leaving Trent out, I think. Pete says, like I said, I don't like Haaland, but feed the horse and he will score. No doubt. No doubt at all about that one. We've got 3 minutes of added on time here. Long ball forward. Colombia chase. I think we've got 90 seconds to half time here. I think there's a real possibility we see this one run through to extra time and pens, because there's just not been any sense of chances in this first half for either side. It's been quite poor, hasn't it? It has been quite poor. Ooh, that was a naughty one. Half-time quiz. Yeah, absolutely, mate. We've got one. For sure. And I think that's it, is it? Yeah, half-time. Half-time. Very disappointing, you've got to say. Very disappointing. Right. Halftime quiz. Here we go. I've got a good one for you. Or at least what I think is a good one, anyway. Okay, your halftime quiz is as follows. Can you name for me? There have been how many? 1, 2. Right, 21. 21 players from either Switzerland or Colombia. Let me get the old headline changed. Hang on a second. Halftime quiz. 21 players from either Okay, there you go. 21 players from either Switzerland or Colombia with 50 or more Premier League appearances. So what you're looking for here is 50 or more appearances, Swiss and Colombian Premier League players. Give us your answers. Come on, get your answers in the chat. Diaz, says Matty. Correct. Luis Diaz is correct. He has got the Stefan Honcho. Well done. Like it. Yerry Mina. Good answer. Well done, Shell. Antonio Valencia is from Ecuador, not Colombia. James Rodriguez. No, not James Rodriguez. Believe it or not, didn't make 50 or more Prem appearances. Xhaka is correct. Right, yeah. Munoz is correct. Daniel Munoz starting today. Fabulous player. Shaqiri, yeah. Xherdan Shaqiri you've got. Not Zachariah. Akanji, good shout. Yeah, Akanji is there. He got him. Shah, yeah. Not Falcao, believe it or not. No, not Falcao. Davinson Sanchez, Joe, yeah. Davinson Sanchez is there. Not Amdouni, not Enna Valencia again. He was from Ecuador. Lerma, yes. Jefferson Lerma is correct. Asprilla, believe it or not. No, not Tino Asprilla. Not Tino Asprilla. So far, you've got Lerma, Davinson Sanchez, Luis Diaz, Daniel Munoz, Akanji, Shaqiri, Fabian Schär, Stefan Honcho, and Granit Xhaka. Not Estupinan, no, but Senderos is right. Good answer, Ryan. Philippe Senderos, he's in the stands tonight, isn't he? John Duran, good answer. Like it, Jelly. David Ospina, believe it or not, no. David Ospina never made 50 Premier League appearances. Yerry Mina we've already got. John Duran, yes. Not Ndoye. No, Ndoye hasn't been in the Prem for long, really. For Switzerland, you've got another 4. For Colombia, you've got another 4 as well. So you've got 8 more left to get. You've got 13 right, 8 more left to get. So far, you've got Xhaka, Oncho, Fabian Schär, Felipe Senderos, Shaqiri, Akanji, John Duran, Daniel Munoz, Yerry Mina, Luis Diaz, Davinson Sanchez, and Jefferson Lerma. Still some more left to go. Carlos Valderrama never played in the Prem. Hamilton Rickard, good shout, Jelly. Hamilton Rickard played in the Prem for a long time for Middlesbrough. Very good player he was as well. Not Remo Freuler, no. Not Remo Freuler. There's one who played for Arsenal, actually. Player who played for Arsenal for a very long time. Hugo Rodallega is correct. Well done, Jelly. Well Googled. Yeah, I think one of them played for Arsenal for a long time. One of them played for West Ham for a long time. These are the 2 Swiss players, by the way. There was another Swiss player who spent a long time at Spurs. There's also another long-time Swiss player who played for Everton. I'm surprised Shell hasn't got the Evertonian Swiss player. He wasn't a very good player, Shell, but he was a Swiss player who played for Everton back in the 90s. When Shell was just a sprog, just a young'un. Barely thought of in the 90s, Shell. Falcao? No, not Falcao. Not Falcao. Not Kevin Wimmer. Kevin Wimmer's Austrian. Not Freddie Rincon. No, never played in the Prem, I don't believe, did he? Not Lichtsteiner. Giroud. Well done, George. Yeah, Johan Giroud is correct. There's one who played for Spurs, one who played for Everton, and one who played for West Ham. They're the three Swiss players left. Swiss West Ham player, Swiss Spurs player, and Swiss Everton player. And then for the Colombians, you've got a Colombian Villa midfielder and a Colombian Villa centre-forward. Not Shani Tarashaj. No, he never really played for the Everton, did he? I'm thinking back in the 90s, a little bit further back. It was a long way away. Let me have a look and see if he played for anyone else. I don't think he did. I'm pretty confident he didn't play for anyone else. Oh, he did. He played for Newcastle. He actually signed for Everton from Newcastle in the mid-90s, Shell. Rachel says, Liverpool lad Suarez. No, he's Uruguayan, Rachel. Not Mondragon. Mondragon never played in the Prem. West Ham one is Fernandez. It's not. No, it isn't Fernandez. Carlos Sanchez is the Villa one. Well done. Carlos Sanchez is the Villa midfielder. There is a Villa centre-forward as well. Colombian. Not Muriel. Angel. Well done, Pete. Juan Pablo Angel. What a player he was. And you've got three players left to get. They're all Swiss now. 3 Swiss players left to get. One of them played for Spurs in the 90s. One of them played for Everton and Newcastle in the 90s. And one of them played for West Ham very consistently throughout sort of the late noughties, the early 10s. Not Rito Ziegler, no. We've already got Sharmati. Has Luis Diaz started? He has, and he's not really done a whole lot in the game, mate. He's one of the worst rated players on the pitch for Colombia, actually. Hottiger, there you go, Mark Hottiger. Well done, Dan. The 2 that's left, so you've got a Spurs player, was Ramon Vega. Ramon Vega for Spurs, and yeah, Ben's just got Valon Berami, who played for West Ham. So there you go, 21 players. 21 players who played for, well, Switzerland or Colombia. 21 combined with over 50 Premier League appearances. They're the only ones who've got 50 or more Premier League appearances that come from either Switzerland or Colombia. You've got Jefferson Lerma, you've got Juan Pablo Angel, you've got Hugo Rodallega, what a player he was. Davinson Sanchez, who plays today. Hamilton Ricard, who I think was one of the very first Colombians in the Prem. Sure he was. Middlesbrough, fabulous player. Luis Diaz, who starts today as well. Yerry Mina. Bit of a mixed bag at Everton. Lots of injuries. Daniel Munoz, who I still think is a terrific player. One of the best right-backs around. And if he was a little bit younger, I'm pretty confident he'd be playing for a Barcelona or a Real Madrid. He's that good. Carlos Sanchez and John Duran is there as well. Oh, there's one more I've missed. I've missed one more. Oh, I might as well tell it you now because I've marked them all off. Luis Sinisterra. Sinisterra has also made 50 plus Premier League appearances. There you go, Sinisterra. And then you've got Hottiger, Mark Hottiger, who played for Newcastle and Everton in the 90s. You've got Ramon Vega, Manuel Akanji, Johan Giroud, Valon Berami, Xherdan Shaqiri, Felipe Senderos, who's in the stands today watching this game. Fabian Schär, who's borderline retired. He's just finished at Newcastle, hasn't he? He's out of contract. Stefan Honcho, who to this day still holds the record for the best ever save in an FA Cup final, with his wonderful save on the line from Thierry Henry. If it was VAR, Liverpool would have lost the great Michael Owen FA Cup final. If VAR existed, that would have been ruled out. That would have been ruled out, that one. Michael Owen Stefan Ancho would have been sent off and Arsenal would have had a penalty and we'd have probably been battered that final. So there you go. VAR 100% got Liverpool at least one trophy anyway. Mem says, do you think James Rodriguez has another World Cup in him? No. No, he's far too gone. Joe, he's not out of contract, Key. He renewed it. Oh, did he? Oh, well, hey. I must have missed that. I must have missed that. But there you go. There's your top 21. Okie dokie. Lots of great games coming up. Obviously around the World Cup, by the way. So there is a gap. Once the quarterfinals are finished, there is a gap, I think, on the... Is it the 15th and the 16th? Is it? I think it is. Or is it the 16th and the 17th? Either way, there's a gap next week. Once the quarterfinals are finished, the semi-finals are due to start. There's a two-day lag, basically, a 2-day gap where there's no football on, no World Cup on. We will be watching football, believe me. And it's looking like the one that we're going to be watching is Derry City against CSKA Moscow is it a Europa League or a Champions League qualifier? I'm not sure. CSKA Moscow playing Derry City. Should be a fantastic game. Looking forward to that. We've got that one. We've got... the UEFA Euro Under-19s tomorrow, Ukraine versus Germany. We're going to be doing Hearts against Sturm Graz once the World Cup final has finished. We've got loads of pre-season friendlies coming up. Liverpool playing Leeds, Liverpool playing Sunderland. I think Dan will be up for that. Liverpool playing Sunderland in the Premier League Summer Series out in the US. Liverpool Leeds and Liverpool Wrexham as well. Naturally, I'm going to be covering all of them. I don't expect the non-Liverpool fan regulars to be turning up. Sean Patino says free Derry. Well, we'll be there for Derry anyway. We'll be there for that one. Viva la Derry. I'll be a Derry fan for the night. I've not watched any CSKA Moscow in a while. How's it going, Dan? Proper footy, Shell. Yes. Proper footy. I couldn't agree more. There's lots of great footy coming up. We've got pre-season friendlies, which we're going to get through them. But we've got club football back immediately after the World Cup. As soon as the World Cup's finished, we're straight back into club football. And that's going to be mega exciting. I can't wait for it. The World Cup finals on the 19th. I think the Monday... There's no footy on the Monday, really, the 20th. But the Tuesday, we've got Sturm Graz against Hearts. And I'm really looking forward to that one. Dan, hi Key, we've signed Krupi. Have you? Where have you read that? Matty, are you doing any friendlies other than Liverpool? Probably not. No, probably not. Unless there's like a real call for him. CSKA Sofia, I think. CSKA Sofia? I thought it was CSKA Moscow, isn't it? It is CSKA Moscow. I'm sure it is. Don't tell me that. I'm certain it is. Let me have a look. Let me check my sources now. You've got me panicking. Derry City fixtures. Oh, it is. It's CSKA Sofia. Why it said CSKA Moscow. I promise you it said CSKA Moscow. But yeah, that's the second leg we're going to be watching on the 16th. It's a 6:30 kickoff. So we'll be live at 6:15. 85 million for Krupi. Apparently Spurs have signed him. Can't wait for those US friendlies. Just got to get this World Cup out the way first. Well, they're going to be early in the morning, Dan. George Key, I feel really ill. Just got a shot of pain in my stomach and it feels like I'm going to throw up. So I'm going to call it a night. Take it easy, mate. Look after yourself. Yeah, go and get yourself some rest. Maybe have a little sip of water if you can. Look after yourself, mate. Let us know how you are tomorrow, maybe, after a bit of sleep. Hopefully you're alright, buddy. But yeah, it's a good buy. I agree. Couldn't agree more. I think if Spurs do get Krupi, they've then got a really talented centre forward there. They've got Kudus, I think, who's got massive amounts of ability. Kulusevski, who I really rate. And they've got a midfield now in Fernandes and Tonali that, you know, you'd be hard pushed to argue that's not one of the best midfield around, to be honest. Dan Spence going to Everton. How much for? How much would you sell Jed Spence for? Jed Spence to Everton. 25? Oh, that's cheap. You can defo squeeze more out of Everton than that. He's an England player. You can't sell an England international to Everton for 25. Minimum 35. Come on, it's Everton. Squeeze them. They're well bad for that. Joe says someone's telling fibs, nothing about Krupi. Well, see, no, that just shows you've got trust issues there, Joe. Doesn't necessarily mean they're telling fibs. They might be misled. It might just be that you've not checked the same source that they have. Don't jump to the negative. Pete, when you've done a Liverpool friendly, why slum it by doing another? Correct. Oh, Switzerland, unlucky. So close there. He's at least worth 40. I mean, I would think so. A Premier League fullback going to another Premier League club, and he's playing for England at the World Cup, and he's only, well, how old's Jed Spence? How old is he? He can't be that old. Jed Spence. 25. There's no way you're selling Jed Spence for 25 million to Everton. If you do, that is a phenomenally bad deal. Jed Spence is worth 35 to 40 million of anybody's money in this market. He can play left back, he can play right back. He's basically in his prime and he's playing for England. There is no way anyone is there's no way. Absolutely no way. Look, the more Spence plays in this World Cup, the more his value goes down. Don't know, mate. If he comes back with a World Cup winners medal, and he'll probably have started a fair few games, if that's the case. Obviously, Reece James injury and a couple of other injuries in the squad. He's racking up the minutes at the World Cup at 25 years of age. Good ball, claim for a penalty. No, referee says no, he's not having it. It's a bit of a dive there from Ndoye. Jellyfish Spence is not a great fullback. It doesn't have to be. For 35 to 40 million, again, it's about the going rate. Premier League to Premier League, that is about the going rate. It really is. Better than what we got, Jelly. I think he's better than Mikalenko. And I like Jake O'Brien. I like Jake O'Brien a lot, but he's not a right back, is he, Shell? He's a centre back, Jake O'Brien. And I think he's certainly better than Patterson. So for me, yes, I would agree. Spence would go to Everton. He would be their best left back and their best right back. And he would start every single game. And that's exactly what Jed Spence needs to get better. But 35 million, I think Everton, for Everton, I think if you signed him for 30 million, that would probably represent like a good deal for both parties, maybe. 30 million for Jed Spence is about right. 25. I know it's only a little bit of a difference, but 25 feels like it's taking the piss. 25 feels like Spurs are just desperate to get rid of him. And then I would start to be thinking, why do you want to sell him? Dan says Romero's going to Saudi. That's a surprise. Oh, Munoz. That's a bad one. That's a bad tackle. Both players have stayed down. I wonder if there could be any recriminations off the back of this one. Here's Luis Diaz into the box for Colombia. Edge of the box. Good clearance from Switzerland. Still two players down here. Pete says, with that quiz, my mind kept going to Christian Gross when you said Spurs and Swiss. Christian Gross. God, yeah, I remember him. Sean says Spence is not part of Roberto De Zerbi's plans. No surprise about Ange wanting Romero, though, Dan. I agree with that. Ange was very, very complimentary of Romero, wasn't he, when he did the overlap? Do you remember? I don't know if you've seen the overlap where he goes on and He had a chat. Oh, yeah. Xhaka's just been booked there for that tackle on Munoz. They both went in full-blooded. If there's anything wrong with that... Oh! Ho, ho, ho! Hey, I tell you what. That is very naughty from Xhaka. I think in any other... That could have been a red, you know, for Xhaka. Really could have been a red. Adam says, watching Novak, how's this game been? 5-setter, 2-2 games, 5th set. I think the longer the game goes on with Djokovic, he's just too old now. He's still a wonderful player, but I fancy Organ Aliassime to win that one. Felix will win that one. I'm going to go for that one. Djokovic is very good, though, but he's... And I love watching him. At his peak, I think Djokovic was up there with the very best. I love watching him. But I think his age is just catching up with him a little bit now. He's stamina to keep going in the later sets. I think as long as it keeps... Yeah, I fancy Aliassime the longer it goes on. Key, do you remember that American manager in the Premier League? I think it was Swansea. Yes. Bob Bradley. Or Brad Bobley, as they called him on Soccer AM. Xhaka should be sent off here. Totally impartial from Joe there again. Locke says if Everton signed Spence for more than 30 million, they deserve a 10-point deduction. Cheers, Gamer G. Free kick here for Switzerland. Right-footed, just outside the area. Decent chance to get a shot on goal. What have I got here? I think have I got Colombia to qualify? Strike. Oh, side netting. Unlucky. I think I have, haven't I? Have I got Colombia to qualify? Colombia to qualify, yeah. That's not a good sign. I need Colombia to nick it. And it's been all Switzerland so far. Megnuts. Matty says, why is Preston v Huddersfield in the first round of the Carabao Cup being played at the Hill Dickinson? I don't know. I have no idea. I did see it, but I don't know. It's not being played at the Hill Dickinson. It's being played at the at Goodison, isn't it? It's played at Goodison Park, not at the Hill Dickinson. Switch of play by Colombia over to Munoz on the right-hand side. Lovely ball forward into James Rodriguez. That's been quite a disappointing game, hasn't it, in that sense? Sau has come on for Jashari, by the way, for Switzerland. Again, a bit more energy and legs in the middle of the park. Jashari didn't really have a huge impact in that first half. The Ferry game last night was very good. Arthur Ferry, yeah, there was a bit of a fight in that, wasn't there? Wasn't there an argument about him not calling the net shots or something? Joe Key, I really wish they'd bring back Soccer AM. I miss it highly. I might just bring some costumes in and we'll do it here, mate. I reckon I could get away with Frankie Fryer and tubes. Thomas says, I was at Wimbledon day one, you may remember. Novak's different class to even Sinner. The way he moves around the court was what had me. Sinner's so robotic, Jock's so smooth. He'll find a way, he always does. Yeah, always enjoyed watching Djokovic. Oh, that was silly from the Swiss all the way back to Kobel. And it's kind of sliced clear and Ndoye flicks it on. Neither team really seizing the opportunity here, are they? I think this might be a game of one goal, maybe extra time and a push. It's not been a great match so far. So much riding on it for these two teams to reach a quarter-final. Like I said, Switzerland have never, ever, ever in their entire history won a World Cup knockout game. So it's history tonight for Switzerland if they make it through. Well, it's not. You know what I mean? They already got through in the last round, but you know what I mean. You get my point. they've won one, and it was this tournament, you'd be a good Lloyd Griffiths. You're a cheeky bastard. Honestly, why'd you have to go for the chunky one? A good Lloyd Griffiths. I reckon I'm more of a Fenners. Lovejoy. Peak Lovejoy. That was a right touch. Pete says, that's good. Let's go with crap managers. Jacques Santini. Jacques Santini. He was another one. Didn't he play? He was manager of France, wasn't he, him? It didn't quite work out, so he ended up playing managing Spurs. Switzerland in the Colombian half here. Lovely little ball forward. But again, first to everything. Davinson Sanchez. They're all booing the FIFA fella. Right, I'm just going to go and grab me water while there's a little break. Hold on, no, I can't. I can't because there's still a chance there's going to be a counter-attack or something. I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it. Alcaraz is my favourite. Tennis has missed him the last few months, I think. Yeah. Again, yeah, Alcaraz, wonderful. To be honest, I've quite enjoyed watching the women's tennis as well in the last few days. Machova and Buzkova and those were really, really good. Osaka's brilliant. I like watching Naomi Osaka as well. Lovely, lovely ball up the touchline. Kobel. Switzerland just about get it away, and here's Ndoye. Now there's a chance for Switzerland 3-on-3. If they get it right, they might even have 4-on-4. It's a terrible ball. Again, it's always the final ball. Talking about tennis, did you think Federer was better than Djokovic? Federer. I think Nadal was brilliant as well. It's so tough, innit? Yeah, Nadal, Federer, Djokovic, I think all of them. They're all much of a muchness. There's not much between them. They were all fantastic. I think Yannick Sinner will win Wimbledon key. It's a good chance. Osaka's good. Her outfits annoy me, though. Tennis is not a bloody fashion show. James Bullen, hey Key, has that paint dried yet? What an anticlimax to the Egypt game. The Egypt game was brilliant. It's been everything that this one hasn't been, hasn't it? Very disappointing follow-up game. But, you know, maybe these games spring into life. We have seen that as well. Dennis Zakaria just booked there for the Swiss. Sometimes there's just a little spark in a game. Sometimes it can be a yellow card, it can be a red, it can be a corner, it can be anything. Just a bit of argy-bargy, some sort of a fight on the pitch. Just something needs to happen to spark these two sets of players into life, because at the minute, you know, I think if you're Murat Yakin, if you're Néstor Lorenzo, the two managers on the touchline, you're probably thinking, you know, the game's kind of there for the taking. You know, both teams are a little bit flat and a little bit flat-footed. It's too slow. All you'd need from a Colombia point of view or a Switzerland point of view, just speed the passes up a little bit. A couple of extra touches is what is happening in midfield at the minute. Good ball. There's only really Luis Diaz playing with any sort of tempo. Diaz strike, and it's a save. Need Luis Diaz to score. Ex-Liverpool. There's only really him done anything in the final third. Federer all day for ability. He made the game look simple. I liked him a lot. Yeah. Key, what do you think of the winning goal for Argentina? Do you think it should have been ruled out? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, it was a clear goal for Argentina. There is no controversy in that. None at all. Midstopia, Soccer AM was class, but for me it was always the funny moments like the annual dance-off competition. Little Rocket! Is this a smash and grab? Not really, no. I don't think it would be a smash and grab if either side won it, to be honest. A smash and grab suggests that one team has been getting battered all game, and then the other side just goes and sticks one in. I don't think either would constitute a smash and grab. Colombia have been really dull, and Switzerland have been quite dull as well. It's just been a pretty poor game all round. Someone needs to throw a punch. Surprised that Xhaka didn't set things off. Well, Xhaka's on a booking. Wouldn't be surprising if Xhaka maybe is the one that gets sent off to spark things into life. 30 minutes to go. Are we going to see a goal in this one? That's the question. Here's Luis Diaz. He's getting doubled up on over that side with Moussa Sow and Akanji. Probably the two most physical defensive players for Switzerland. Hoofed up and away by Freuler. Colombia win it back. It's going to be a throw-in. Matty says a smash and grab is Liverpool against PSG when Alisson had a wonder game. That's true, yeah. Yeah, that would be a smash and grab. I'd agree with that. PSG battered us that day and we went up the other end and Harvey Elliott nicked it. Mr. Al-Shamari, who have you got if this goes to penalties, Key? Looking at the two sets of players, I would probably lean just ever so slightly to Switzerland. I think once you get past Rodriguez and Suarez, maybe Diaz. Luis Diaz, I'm not sure how good of a penalty taker he is, to be honest, but Rodriguez and Suarez I would back. After that, I think they're stuck. Whereas for Switzerland, I think you've got Xhaka, wonderful penalty taker. Ricardo Rodriguez can take a penalty. We know Dan Ndoye can take a penalty as well. I think he's scored 1 or 2 for Forest, hasn't he, in pen shootouts last season. And Embolo I would back to take a penalty. Wouldn't surprise me at all if we maybe saw Okafor brought on. Okafor can take a penalty. We've seen him do that for Leeds. Maybe even someone like Sylvain Widmer. Colombia, strike! Oh, it's a terrible effort from Suarez. The commentator just said Luis Suarez by name, Luis Suarez by nature. It's probably not wrong, is it? Colombia's back line is decent. It is, but it's not going to help on penalties, is it, Will? Not really. I think goalkeeper-wise as well, you know, you look at goalkeepers and Kobel versus Vargas, I would fancy Kobel. I think Vargas is, again, he's an experienced goalkeeper. 37 years of age, but he's playing for Atlas in Mexico. And hasn't really played out of South America. I would fancy Gregor Kobel, top goalkeeper for Borussia Dortmund. I like him a lot. I think I would tip Switzerland to win on penalties if it gets that far. But I would probably hope that Colombia would get the job done sooner. Pete says, did you see Stevie G voted best LFC player of all time? I think that's right, yeah. I always go back to the Jurgen Klopp quote. He said Liverpool Football Club was built on the soul of Kenny Dalglish and the legs of Steven Gerrard. And I think that's very, very true. Very true. Kenny Dalglish, a wonderful human being and a terrific player as well. One of the very best, but a wonderful human being. And Steven Gerrard, who for me, I've never seen a better midfielder. And he includes Zidane in that. I don't care what anyone says. I've seen so many fantastic midfielders in my lifetime, but none of them really come close to Gerrard. Even the great pretenders. I remember Liverpool playing, England played Germany, and Michael Ballack was kind of seen as the next big thing. He was like the midfielder at the time. Gerrard ran rings around him. He absolutely ran rings around him. Oh, are we going to get a VAR check here? Oh, Luis Diaz. Don't tell me that's going to be a VAR check. Don't tell me that's a VAR check. Oh, it's a sub. Thank God for that. Jesus Christ. Prayers for Sir Kenny's good health. Absolutely, yeah. James Rodriguez off, Quintero on. Jamison Campas coming on as well. He was wonderful in the game against Uzbekistan. John Arias goes off. It's not been his game either. Wasn't a great spell for him at Wolves either, was it, John Arias? But yeah, Jamison Campas, I like him. Very fast player. Very, very good work ethic. He was brilliant in the game against Uzbekistan. The final goal in that game Watch it back. It's one of my favourite goals of the tournament. Top player. Right, let me go and grab me water quick. Hang on, I'll be back in 30 seconds. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Locke says Liverpool was also built on the teeth of Luis Suarez. Depends what era you're. Most fans who started going in the 80s would say Rush or Barnes. I mean, Rush, I only ever caught the tail end of them two. But yeah, they were both phenomenal as well. Was that the Liverpool 5 Germany game? It was. It certainly was. Heskey, Gerrard, Owen hat-trick. And the nostrils of Robbie Fowler. Hey, love him. Love him. Hero. Which way do you think France-Morocco will go? It'll be close, but you're back in France to do it, surely. I don't know, you know. The more I watch Morocco, I think that they're exactly the sort of team that could frustrate France. You know, France weren't brilliant against Paraguay. They weren't brilliant against Senegal. They've looked vulnerable at the back. Every game I've watched France, they've always, you know, they've given up chances at the other end. Didn't he get punished for that snort celebration? He did, yes. He did get punished for that. He was basically having a pop back at the Everton fans because all the Everton fans have been calling him a beakhead for years. And he was just having a go back and saying, yeah, I'm absolutely not. Water in a can. I know, absolutely shambles that in it. I'm ashamed of myself. Water in a can. The midfield masterclass of Yossi Benayoun. I liked Yossi. I liked him. Cracking player, Yossi Benayoun. Jefferson Lerma. Hydrating himself. We've got 20 minutes left to go here. Hope France get battered, says Shell. I'd like to see some of the top tides going out. I'd love to see a real sort of mad last 8. Well, last 4. A mad last 4. I'd love to see like Belgium against Morocco and Norway against Colombia. Imagine that. Imagine that's the last 4. Belgium, Morocco, Norway, Colombia. The last 4 of the World Cup. It's not even that unlikely, is it? Ivan Toney just confirmed to Crystal Palace. Can't see it, but good luck to him. I very much doubt it. It'd be nice if the World Cup had a new champion. Yeah, it'd be a nice change, wouldn't it? Plus, I'd quite like to see the England fans freaking out. Tuchel would get sacked if someone like Norway or Belgium won it. Hey, there's Jurgen. There's the new Germany manager. Eating chips there. It's not good. It's not good for you, that, Jurgen. You'd never catch an athlete like me doing that. No chance. Love a salad. "20 minutes left." Sorry. I think that's probably one of the first times I've ever yawned on camera. Outrageous. That's a free kick. Free kick, Switzerland. Keith says Argentina game was mental. It was great fun, wasn't it? Enjoyed that game. Probably one of the games of the tournament. If not the game of the tournament, I'd say, Keith. Morocco v Spain and England v Colombia semi-finals. I think Spain will make it through. I do think Spain make it through. Still fancy Spain. Spain overall. Right, what's the score? Score is Switzerland 0, Colombia 0. It might well be the worst game of the tournament so far. Would we say this is the worst game of the tournament so far? I've watched a lot of bad games. This is right up there, I've got to say. From my perspective, oh, Switzerland players just been absolutely clattered there by Vargas. Oh, that's a bad tackle. It's not a penalty. They were both going for the ball. But I can imagine he's pretty winded. Key'll be happy, no late night football matches. I'll just be happy to be able to get back, to go into bed at like 11 o'clock and waking up at like 7. I love that. Not needing to take a nap in the middle of the day. I love that. I went to bed last night at like 3 and I was up at 7:30 this morning. It's shit. You wake up and you're like, hanging. Keeper should go. Nah, your keeper can't go for that. Key, will you be starting to get your sleep schedule back to normal now? That's the plan, yeah. I mean, to some degree, obviously we've still got to do them US fixtures, some of which kick off at 12:30 midnight. So I might need to stick with the sleep schedule to some degree for a little bit longer. The good news is it's only maybe 1 or 2 nights. So if it's only for 1 or 2 nights, you can kind of drop in and drop out. Colombia versus Argentina game would be a vicious game to watch. These South Americans are ruthless. I don't know if I can take another 30 minutes of this. Shell, I'm like that every morning, Key. Yeah. Welcome to Meme Land. Are you supporting England at the World Cup? I'm not, no. You've done really well, Key. Fair play to you. Thanks for doing this for us. Do you know what? Mate. It's not. It's not for you guys. It's as much for me as anything. I want to watch the games and I enjoy watching it with you guys. I like watching it and chatting. So I get just as much out of it as you do, believe me. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It has been very difficult, especially for someone like me with epilepsy. I think it's easy enough for, let's say, an average person who can just maybe take some coffee and do what they need to. For me, it's literally risking life and death for some of these streams. It genuinely is. Some of them, like, late night streams, it could kill me. And that's not even an exaggeration. That's not me being dramatic. Shell will back me up on this. It could absolutely kill me. That's why it was kind of silly to do as many as I did. But I'm still going to do the quarterfinals. A quarterfinal that kicks off at 2 a.m. Is it 2 or is it 2:30? Might be 2:30 kickoff. I'll still do that. But 15 to go. Are we going to get a late goal? Something tells me no. Something tells me this one has got extra time and penalties written all over it. Just don't push yourself too much. I know, mate. Believe me, I've got the wife in my ear. And also, to be honest, I've got a little girl now. The last thing you want is me keeling over. And why? And what are they going to tell her? Your dad's not around anymore. Why? He wanted watch bloody Egypt and Iran at 4 a.m. It's just not a good enough reason, is it, really? It's not a smart reason. Watching games, reading, you have epilepsy. That's awesome, mate. Hey, listen, you've got to do it, mate. This is the game we're in. So you've got to push yourself. Mac Manzi, which team do you think will win the World Cup? I'll stick with Spain. I said Spain pretty much all tournament. I'll stick with them. Colombia are trying to win it by death by boring football at the minute. This has been the worst game, and I'm not exaggerating. This really has been the worst game. This has been really bad. Néstor, Lorenzo, not very happy. Murat Yakin looks very, very suave. He looks very sophisticated. Turkish Swiss national. "25 degrees in here it is. Fucking hell, it's red hot. It's going to be one of them nights again, innit? Sticky, hot. There'll be a last minute winner for the Swiss. Again, something tells me we're going to extra time and pens here. Calum, Key, do you play World Cup Fantasy? I do, mate, and we've got a league as well. We've got a Matchday Tavern World Cup League. And I think Rob, I'm sure, is still top of it. We said we'd give this away, the World Cup trophy. If he wants it, that is. He might not want it, I don't know. But if he does, I'll happily post it to him. I'll gladly post it to him. It's his if he wants it. Should pop BBC One on, mate. More drama on centre court, I can imagine. I think I'd enjoy watching tennis more than this at this minute. It's been a really bad game. There's just not been anything. I think that's been the point. It's not that there's been, like, very few chances. It's that neither side have looked like they want to create chances. I don't think the ball's really been in the penalty area that much. In fact, I would be pretty surprised if we do I don't know if there will be a stat on this, but I reckon this game will have had the fewest touches in the penalty area of any game at this World Cup. I've watched every single game, and of the games that I have seen, I can't remember a game where the ball was in the penalty area less than this one. It's all been concentrated in the middle of the pitch. It's all been second balls and, really difficult. Oh, I thought there might have been a claim for a penalty at the back stick from Embolo there, but no. Referee waves it away. Drink plenty of water, Key. I know, lovely, I am. I'm working on it. It's just so hot, isn't it? Got a big fan blowing over here. I'm trying to point it away from the mic so you guys can't pick it up. But Rob is ahead by 89 points. Fucking hell. Joe says, I'm counting down the days for the first game of the season, Key. Can't wait for Liverpool are going to get bazoomed. Do you know what? I've got a party on that day. And there's two games, isn't it? Is it a Super Sunday? Liverpool-Newcastle. It is, isn't it? And there's two games on that Super Sunday. And normally, as you guys know, if you've watched the channel before, normally I would do both games on the Super Sunday. I'm only going to be able to do the late one, which is obviously Newcastle-Liverpool. So, I've said to the people at the party, if the party starts at like 12 or 1, I think it's a 1 o'clock start. And I can't get out of it. It's a family member, and he's... Yeah, anyway. I've got to go to this family party. And... Yeah, I'm going to be leaving. Basically, I think it starts at 1. I'm going to have to leave at like 3:30 to get back for 4 to get set up for the game. Who's this coming on? Richard Rios. Benfica player, Richard Rios, about to come on. Last 10 minutes. I'm not going to be here though, Key, as you know it. No, of course, mate. Yeah, you'll be at the game, no doubt. Seeing how Joe Linton's kicking verts up the pitch. Isak back for the first time. What sort of reception do you think Isak gets on his first time back at the St James's? Because he's got to play, hasn't he, now? Ekatike being injured. There's no doubt Isak starts in that one. Oh, fucking hell. Come on, the Geordies. Oh, Shell. Who've Everton got opening day? I forgot who Everton have got opening day. Let's have a look. Opening day of the Premier League. What's the fixtures? Arsenal, Coventry on the Friday night. We'd all like to see Coventry win that one, but I can't see it. Then it's Hull Man United, Saturday, 12:30. Oh, Everton have got Palace. Should we do that one? Should we do Everton Palace at 3 o'clock? Ipswich, Sunderland, Nottingham Forest, Leeds. And then the late game is Brentford v Tottenham. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do Hull Man United, Everton Palace, and then Brentford Tottenham. And then on the Sunday, I'm going to miss Brighton Villa / Man City Bournemouth. And we're going to do Newcastle Liverpool. And then Monday Night Football is the West London derby. It's Fulham v Chelsea. When Isak plays against Newcastle, I think he'll be able to hear the boos from my house. And I live about 9 miles away. Hey, Joe, I'm going to have to get my booing voice ready for that one. Maybe, do you know what you need to do? Ask Shell to take you down to the Hill Dickinson, because there's nobody better in the league at booing than the Ev. They're the boo specialists. If you just sit in the Hill Dickinson, I imagine even when it's empty, you'll develop a real knack for booing. Just being in the presence. Caleb, how you doing, mate? I'm in the top 5,000 rank. Oh, nice. Well done. I don't know where I am. To be honest, I do it every season with the Fantasy League. I start it, and I think, right, I'm going to do it. We're going to have a Fantasy League, and I'm going to change my lineup every week. I never do. I never, ever do. I think I've changed my team once in this World Cup, and I forgot about it every time. Probably because I've been knackered. Switzerland corner, knocked back in the box. Colombia head it away. Now on the counter-attack. Mike J, Argentina to win the World Cup key. No, not for me. What the pissing hell is that? Oh, what's the keeper doing? Luis Diaz, terrible there from Gregor Kobel. He's offside. Bugger. They boo the corner flags, them lot. Hey, Novak's won it. Has he won it? Go on, lad. Love Novak. I do like him. Everton fans feel so entitled. I don't know why, coming from a United fan. Do you know what? I feel really sorry for Everton fans. And I don't mean that in a patronising way, even though it'll come across that way. I feel really sorry for them because I don't think there's a team in the Premier League that has been promised more and received less. Like, they came into the Premier League as one of the big sides in the country, and they've had multiple ownerships who've promised them the world, and they've never delivered. They've had loads of managers who've kind of took them to the edge of success and then failed spectacularly. They've floated around the drain of relegation for so long. They've had some wonderful players come in, and just as they're building something, the player leaves. It's just... You know, they had the new owners come in and it was like billionaire takeover. We're going to win the Premier League within 5 years. Oh. Bill Kenwright, when he announced Roberto Martinez, and he said, when I spoke to Roberto, I said to him, just one thing. Get us in the Champions League. We've got our fab front three. The front three that he's talking about was Yannick Bolasie, Cenk Tosun, and Gylfi Sigurdsson. I remember that headline. Liverpool had Mane, Firmino and Salah. And I think it was Bill Kenwright came out and said, we've got our own fab front three. Sigurdsson, Cenk Tosun and Bolasie. Oh, would you love to see Argentina win it? Yeah. I mean, I don't care, mate. I'll be honest, I really don't mind. Key and the David Dickinson, have they got a trophy room? That's it. We've got more changes coming up here now. Last 5 minutes plus injury time. Couple of Swiss changes. It's a real letdown, this. Is it Embolo going off? Is he actually taking Embolo off? That's a bad move. What are you taking him off for? He's your only attacker. Sweet baby Jesus in Nazareth. Yeah, 2 changes. Widmer and Cedric Itten coming on. Who's gone off? That's not Sow, is it? He's not took Sow off. He's not subbed him on and subbed him. Oh, it's Zachariah. Zachariah and Embolo off for Widmer and Itten. Cedric Itten, an attacking player. Widmer maybe a bit more of a... Yeah, I don't think Embolo will be happy with that. Cedric Itten. I think you'd expect better. Pig Horse, has it been a crap match? I would say it's been the worst match at the World Cup, and I've watched them all. If Isak scores, Newcastle City Centre will turn into Gotham City. Yeah. It has. It's been comfortably the worst match. There's been just a bit. I mean, I don't even know how many shots on target there've been. I don't think there's been many. Well, apparently there's been 2 each. Says everything. I think both ones have been like comfortable saves. There's not been any big chances. Yeah, there you are. 0 big chances in the game for either team. Expected goals 0.29 for Switzerland, 0.4 for Colombia. It's been such a bad game. 5 hours, 4 minutes this has lasted so far on centre court. Unbelievable. Egypt's collapse before was colossal. Well, it's in the frame now with a... There's the racism allegation going on as well. Yeah, there's been a racism allegation from... what's his name? Oh, claim at the back post for the penalty. He says, get up. He's screaming for the handball here. Not a penalty, is it? Jamington Campas. Yeah, the Egyptian manager, Hossam Hassan, gave the racism sort of, whatever it's called, the racism signal, to allege that there had been some racist abuse thrown his way. Again, we've no idea how verified that is, where it's come from, whether it's multiple people hurling vile abuse at him, whether it's, something from the crowd, whether it's one of the coaching staff, one of the players. No idea. But he's brought that up literally just after Argentina score the late winner, 3-2 in added time, and then immediately he's claimed racism. The referee went over, spoke to him, booked him, which was a break from protocol because I'm alleged to believe that I'm inclined to believe the protocol is that they have to stop the game. And they didn't stop the game. So I don't know if the rest broke protocol there. Obviously what happened in the Benfica versus Real Madrid game is the game stopped and then it resumed afterwards. So, yeah, I don't know, maybe. Is that the Rock's energy drink? No, mate, it's Aqua Libre. It's pure filtered water in a can. Still water in a can. I got sent loads of them, so I'm just working my way through them. Won't change the result though, will it? At best, maybe a big fine for the Argies and a future suspension at best. Yeah, that's it. That's it. You'd never know with these things what's going to happen. Oh... 5 added minutes at the end of this. It's like Chinese water torture, this game, isn't it? Dreadful. Guessing it's 0-0. Yeah, a little bit, mate. It's been bad. It's been really bad. 90th minute, 91st minute now. We've got 5 minutes of added on time. I'll level with you. Oh, it's been a bad game. It's been a really, really bad game. It's put me to sleep. Switzerland in the box, though. Oh, nearly dragged the ball across the face of goal. Probably the first big chance of the game. And it's come in the 91st minute and it's gone up for a throw-in. That's how close it was. Dragged across the face of goal and out for a throw-in. But Dan and Ndoye there with the real half chance, I guess, for Swiss. Hey, it was a claim for a penalty, that. Why was that not looked at? Oh, I tell you what, I don't know, you know, that might have been a pen for Switzerland. Is Big Shaq playing? Shaqiri? No, he's retired, hasn't he? He's retired, hasn't he, with Shaqiri? He doesn't even play for Switzerland anymore. Yeah, he's not in the squad. He's long since retired, Shaqiri. Vargas has just come on. This is diabolical. It's a bad game, innit? It's a very bad game. 3 to go. Don't know if I've got the appetite for another 30 minutes of this, I'll be honest. I think I'm struggling. I'm flagging. I'm flagging. It'll be a different game in extra time, just watch. We said that at the end of the first half. Rowan, who's winning? It's 0-0, mate. Switzerland 0, Colombia 0. And yeah, it's been a bad old game, to be honest. It's not been great. Not been great at all. It's gonna go down as probably the worst game of the tournament. Don't want to keep labouring that point, but it really has been a tough game to watch. If you've made it through this with us, then I've got to say, fair play to you. Big respect to you if you've made it through this game. I've seen enough penalty to Argentina. No, Shell, you're right. I'm knackered. Lovely. I went to bed at 3:30, 4 o'clock last night after the USA-Belgium game. And then I woke up at about 7:30 this morning. I've not been back to bed, so I'm running on about 3 hours kip now, 3-4 hours kip. So I'm knackered. I am absolutely knackered. Genuinely think I might jack it in for extra time. The long-haired lad for Paraguay is pissing me off all week. Which one? Bin it off if you're feeling bad. I know. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. To be honest, if there's no goal in the next 90 seconds, I'm going to swerve it. We'll give extra time a miss. It's not worth it. It's been a bad game, and to be honest, I can live with. I'll come back to. We're back tomorrow for the Euros anyway. I'll be well rested. We've got a game tomorrow. Ukraine against Germany in the UEFA Euro Under-19 Championship semi-final. Hey, and it's at Wales. It's at the racecourse ground. Did you know that? It's at the racecourse ground. The Euros is being held in Wales. I wasn't aware of that. Why did you get up that early? Mate, I've got the dog staying with me and stuff because we've got family who are away, so I'm looking after the dog, and yeah, he had me up early. And once I'm awake, I'm awake. That's it. I'm not one of them who can kind of get up and then go back to bed. I find it really difficult. So I was awake and I was just up, and that was it really. So I'm running off 3 or 4 hours kip. And I thought I'd have been able to see this one through to the end. I thought we'd see this one finished in 90 minutes, if I'm dead honest with you. But, no, alas, it's probably going to be 30 seconds left. I fell asleep for a while here. Yeah, I was going to say, it's not great. 14 minutes in that heat and a 39-year-old wins. Go on, Djokovic. Love it. Love it, Novak. Okay, free kick to Colombia, and I think that's probably going to be that. I can't see a world in which this one... No, there you go, it is full time. Full time. We've had this one wrapped up. Colombia and Switzerland 0-0. It will go to extra time, and probably to penalties. Cogsy says Maggie Thatcher could honestly start for Colombia. I think she'd start for both of these, to be honest. Right. Lots of love, everyone. I'm going to pack it in there. I can't be bothered. Extra times. I mean, I'm shattered. I'm absolutely goosed. We've got a big game tomorrow. We'll swerve it. I'll I'll catch it all tomorrow. I'll be back for Ukraine and Germany. A slightly different game tomorrow, that one. It's at 6 p.m, I think. Is it 6 or 6:30? Let me have a look. I think it's an earlier kick-off. 7 o'clock, so it's a 6:45 start tomorrow. Ukraine versus Germany at the Racecourse Ground in Wrexham. Should be a great game, that one. Looking forward to it. Hopefully you'll join me for it. If you've not already, do us a favour. Hit like, hit subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a lovely, lovely night. Ta-ra.